Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast, Retro Life Review, movies of the 1980s. My name is Chris Adams, host of the show. Special guest with us this week, Mr. Martin Phillips, and of course, that traitorous person underneath at the bottom there
Marty!
who did not like my movie choice this week,
Yep,
Travis Rollins.
we got
What up,
two
Chris?
now.
What up, Travis?
What's happening, Marty? You doing all right, buddy?
Oh yeah, good, good.
We got two for the list now of movies that Chris picked that I didn't like.
Well, Summer
But
Rental
that's
was the
all
other
right.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Summer Rental though. But the thing about Summer Rental was hard to watch. But during discussing it, I don't think I would want to watch it again. But I had to acknowledge that it is pretty daggum funny. There
Yeah.
there's funny parts to it. So I didn't hate it as much as I thought I did. I thought I
See,
flat out hated it, but I didn't hate it.
Summer Rental for you was Sin City for me.
Yeah.
Well, I like Sin City. Chris
Mhm.
doesn't. Chris doesn't know what he's talking about.
There we go.
No, listen, funny enough, after I watched it, I kind of thought it was all right, and I would go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
But
it takes a little bit of time to marinate.
yeah,
it's-
the
Because it's
Yeah,
kind of like Pulp Fiction. It's kind of like how Tarantino did Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, where it starts at the
Mhm.
end of the movie and goes forward. It's kind of like one of those things where it's jumping around so much. You got to be, and the timeline is forward and backward. So you got to be you got to kind of be paying attention for Sin City, or
well,
just be a comic nerd and it comes natural.
let me tell you what we
exactly.
let me tell you what we planned on doing. We did, of course, the movie Rad last week,
Yeah,
BMX biking and everything. It was
and
fun.
that was a cool movie.
Yeah, cool movie, very fun. We thought we'd do something with skateboarding this time, and we were going to do thrashing
Mm-hmm.
or thrashing, not
Thrashing.
thrashing, but
Yeah,
thrashing.
thrashing.
And then the last, now I will say this though, which one of the two of us, Travis, actually said, let's just do Gleaming the Cube next week?
Me, because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep, it
Yep.
was Travis. Travis
It
actually
was my
picked the
final
movie.
decision.
He
Yep,
actually picked the
technically.
movie, but I agreed with him wholeheartedly because I like the movie. And
well,
apparently, Travis does not like Gleaming the Cube very much at all.
I wasn't a fan.
Now, this
Actually,
was Christian Slater's what, third movie, I guess.
there are hardly any movies that I downright hate, but
Mhm.
for y'all, just so we're setting the tone. I thought I'd have some fun with Chris. He's like, "Are you ready to do the podcast tonight? Or did you get a chance to watch the movie?" I said, "Yeah, I made it through half of that beep movie." I kind of called it trash.
I was like, "What?
Yeah,
What? What did
it
you
wasn't that
just
bad.
say?"
It was just it got it was the middle of the day when I was watching it, and we're getting older, and it wasn't keeping my interest enough to keep me from falling asleep about halfway through it.
Dude, I
I
am
passed out about halfway through it, and then I went back and YouTubed about the last 20 minutes of it.
here lately. I'm the world's worst. I love football, but if I sit and watch football, if my team is not winning, which has been pretty much the majority of the year, I would fall asleep during the game and wake up at the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to catch that and see what's going on there.
Dude, let me tell you, my dad, NASCAR junkie back in the day, right? Which
Hmm.
he drag raced and stuff too. I mean, I spent time on the track and everything, but dad was, if the race was on TV, he was in front of it, right? But the thing was if it wasn't like out in the shop or we didn't go to a friend's house or something, if he was watching it at the house, he'd lay down on the couch and he'd fall asleep.
Hmm.
He'd be dead asleep,
well,
snoring. But I swear to God, you go ahead and try to change the race on TV. He turned straight. Hey, what you doing?
Watching,
I'm,
I'm
yeah,
watching that.
I'm watching that.
I'm
Like you
watching
sitting here
that.
snoring. What the hell?
I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
That's just like yesterday. Me and the wife were snowed in basically, and still had snow on the ground, and I'm sitting here watching the fifth season of The Rookie, and then I'm all into it, watching it. All of a sudden, it was just like not the lights out, and I was just tucked back in the recliner, and the wife and Suzette decides to go on ahead and finish the episode that we were watching, and watch another one without me. and then wake me up and say, "Hey, I watched the episode. You're gonna have to watch it again."
Oh no.
Well, I got you both beat because just the day before yesterday, the first snow day we were out here, the state offices were closed on Friday, so I didn't have to go to work. Um,
Nice.
so I'm sitting
So y'all
here
just
where I'm
feed the
at.
convicts? If it snows,
Uh,
the convicts don't get fed?
there are certain positions that there's certain positions that come in. I'm gonna put it to you like this: if you're a security behind the fence and nobody comes in to relieve you,
Yeah.
you are stuck.
Oh wow.
And
Mhm.
now they'll pay you overtime and everything, right? You'll get your time and a half and all that. But
Hmm.
there are people that sleep there. If no one can come in, they'll work around the clock. And they
Heck
got
yeah.
a special room in each unit where if it comes down to this, you can go in and you can sleep. They got showers there. You can shower the next day. Of course, you don't have an extra uniform. You throw in that uniform right back on. But better
That's
hope you didn't do anything the day before to get all sweaty with and
I would
everything.
say that sounds all right though. I mean, if you're getting paid for it.
Well, they're getting
Yeah.
paid for it. Now, in my position is outside the fence. I'm more administrative than security.
Ooh.
We do deliveries to the compound, both commissary and warehouse stuff, so supplies. They have a kitchen back there that serves food.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're getting fed. They're just not getting the kind of food they
So
want.
you so are you cooking or you're not in the kitchen?
No,
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm
So you
warehouse.
No,
so you got access to all the good ramen.
he's the person that's dishing out the candy and stuff that's right behind him.
He's got access to all the good ramen. 'Cause those of y'all that ain't never been locked up don't know this, but in the jailhouse, you get flavors of ramen noodles that they ain't got on the streets, son.
All right, so there's ramen. They get their ramen. They get their little wraps they make.
You got to get the big pickle because the big pickle
They got
comes
the
in the
big
Ziploc
pickles.
bag, and the Ziploc bag and the big pickle. That's how you do your setups. You use the Ziploc bag to crush up your daggum Cheetos
Uh,
and stuff.
they
Roll
they
'em up.
don't.
I mean, I
They,
seen it on TV. I ain't been locked
theirs
up that
don't
much.
theirs don't come in a Ziploc bag. They got the one individual kosher pickle, dill pickle,
Hmm.
in a little pouch you open up. But I sat there and watched the one that works in our warehouse the other day. He made a pizza. Do you know how
Hmm.
he made the pizza though?
Probably with some kind of potato chips.
Crackers. He took
Yep, that works
crackers and
too.
he crushed them all up really good. He
Hmm.
got them dampened with water
Yep,
and inside of its baggie, and he just kept kneading it in the bag
yep.
from outside until it got to a certain point. Then he spread it all out, flattened
Mm,
it out, put it in a microwave, and cooked it off for so many minutes till it got tougher. And then he went and put his sauce because they get pizza sauce in a little plastic jar.
yep.
They get cheese they can cut up and put on it. They get packages of pepperonis. He'll cut up a little dill pickle and put on it, which I told him was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
There.
A dill pickle on a pizza. Now,
I
uh,
mean,
but
if you're
but
making a
let me tell you
cheeseburger
something.
pizza,
They make some great wraps. Though.
but
They
look,
make some good wraps.
I'm gonna tell you this though. The thing about it is when you're doing them setups down the river, it's down. It's you so when you eating that food, like you'd be amazed at things that you think taste amazing. Just
Uh
anything
huh.
that's got some flavor. Just give me some kind of flavor.
Isn't that like Eddie Murphy talking about saltine crackers? If you had a saltine cracker in a while, you're like, that's the best cracker I ever had in my life.
I'm trying to tell you. That's why we'd use half a ramen pack of half a pack of seasoning for the ramen pack. You'd only use half of that and save the rest of it for chow. Because you had to sprinkle that on there to make that taste like something.
Man, I'll tell you guys one more thing that happened this past Thursday where I work, and then we're gonna jump into the movie.
Yeah.
But somebody came by and put on a special concert for the inmates who are short time there.
Hmm.
We have units 5 and unit 6 are short time people.
Hmm.
So somebody came by there and put on a little concert, and
Yep. So you're
apparently
not supposed to talk
this
about it yet.
this gentleman has been locked up himself in Davidson County
Hmm.
in the past,
Yep.
and I didn't know one single song by him until someone sent me some the other day.
Really?
And it's fact, I'm not a big fan. But
Heck yeah.
Jelly
Oh,
Roll,
okay.
and
Yeah.
now who I would be a bigger fan of would be Laney Wilson that came with him.
Yep.
And I told a guy in the warehouse, I said, look, I don't care about the jelly roll, the crescent roll, the dinner roll, the donut hole, whatever the name is that's up there performing today.
Damn, well,
I
you being straight
do,
up disrespectful.
however, need you to get some Lainey Wilson to come by here and say hello to us today before she leaves. That's
You
what I need.
flat disrespectful to the jelly man.
I mean,
Look,
he
look,
look,
he
he's
hurt
not
my
all right. Okay,
he hurt
he's
my
not okay.
he hurt my feelings going flat out to country music because I'm a fan of his older stuff.
Well, he ain't
Yeah.
country. He's not country music.
No, he's country music on the radio, but when you go to one of his concerts, he's still rap.
Yeah, so I don't care what anybody says. He's not country music.
Oh, you one of
That's
these?
that's that country
Oh, we
rap. But we like
one.
that's that country
Yeah,
rap.
the
We
country,
like to
country
refer
rap. Yeah.
refer to it as crap.
Oh my lord! See now you just boy, you get his feelings hurt over a movie, and he just wants to trash everything. Don't he?
I'm just saying. Look, you talk to Chili Ray. Chili Ray will tell you one thing. I do like a couple of Moonshine Bandit songs, and one
You
song
don't
by
listen to the Lax
one
either.
one song by Big Smo. Well, one song. That's it.
You like one song by Big Smo and none by Jelly. Something wrong with you.
One song called
Something wrong
"Kicking
with
It in Tennessee," and I like the beat to it. That's it.
you. Something wrong with you. You need to
Yeah.
listen to the Lax and Big and Rich, man. That's
I,
I ain't never seen no country girl shake
we
it like that.
we heard two songs he did before we left. We couldn't see the stage. We could just hear some of the music. He did the opening song. He did Folsom Prison Blues, but replaced Folsom Prison with Riverbend Prison.
You shouldn't have done that.
He did that. He
No, you
did.
shouldn't have done that.
And then he did Son of a Sinner.
Yeah.
I was told it was called Son of a
Mr.
Sinner.
Long haired son of a sinner.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that's his new country shit. I don't like that stuff.
So anyway,
Anyway,
let's jump to the great. Let's jump to a great movie.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about some teenager investigating a murder under the guise of being a skateboard movie.
Let's talk about a teenager who is upset that his adopted brother got killed, and he's taking action into his own
That's right.
hands because
Yeah.
nobody else will lift a finger to do anything for him about it.
Going on
And he just happens to be a skateboarder as well.
and the wise ass cop too. So,
Yeah, so I
I
mean,
kind of like the cop though. He was an asshole to him, but then at the same time he was helping him out too. You know what I mean? Like he was like,
so look, Marty gave he gave me a question earlier for trivia. He can hit you with it now as far as the
Okay.
question about the cop.
all right, there you go, Travis. How many times in the movie did Christian Slater get thumped in the air?
oh Lord.
So you don't know because you fell asleep. That's
Yeah,
what happens when you fall asleep.
happens
You
when you
can't
fall
answer the trivia.
I'm gonna say 12. 7. I'm gonna go with 7.
No, it was only 4 times.
I was closer. I said 5. I was thinking 4, but I said sure as I say 4, it'll be 5. So I said 5, and he said nope, it was 4.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
it was only
That's just
4.
my luck. But
Missed it
look,
by that much.
this was Christian Slater's first movie, right? I'm sorry, third movie.
Third movie.
His first movie, I think, was Legend of Billie Jean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then he went on to Heathers,
yeah.
and then Gleaming the Cube, I think, as far as major
Yeah.
movies go.
1988. Yeah. So that's when Gleaming the Cube came out. So,
89.
was it 89?
Yeah, 89.
When I was looking at it on YouTube, it said 88.
Yeah, they lied.
They lied to you.
They lied.
Just right.
IMDb, which is the mother of all movie places, says 1989.
Hmm.
PG-13, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Director Gramey Clifford. What kind of name is Graeme?
I don't know. That guys?
I got
Yeah,
written
I got it.
written by Michael Tolkien.
Well, I guess he had to do this in order to make it to Dave Rudabaugh.
You know, I was about to ask. Listen, that is so funny that you say that. I was going to ask you guys what your favorite Christian Slater character has been.
Dude, Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh.
It's got to be
man.
Arkansas Dave. Got to be
It gotta be.
Navajo.
I did like Navajo.
That was Dirty Steve, wasn't it?
That's Dirty Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, greaser. Dirty greaser. What was that? He was in one movie that was really good. I want to say it was a remake where I remember if it was riots or if it was like a bank robbery or something. Something about the police precinct.
Hard Rain.
It was a hard rain. They had to make it down the street or something.
They're driving a money truck, like a Brinks truck or something like that.
Okay.
And his uncle was driving the truck with him, and his uncle had worked out a deal with the character that uh
Yeah, they actually robbed the
what
Brinks truck.
right.
But
What was the guy's name that was his partner? Morgan Freeman.
yeah,
Uh,
Morgan Freeman.
so they
Yeah.
worked it out. He didn't know they worked this deal out. He didn't know his uncle was dirty and was going to try to retire on the money. And yeah, that was a very fun movie too. It was a very good
That
movie.
one.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be that one, and then it's real. It's real tight because I really, really, really liked him in Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
With
Pump Up the Volume was pretty
Travolta.
good too.
Yeah. Well, the old John Travolta. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Travolta
Travolta. What?
would. Wasn't he in that movie too with the
Up your
speaking of
nose with a rubber
Navajos?
hose.
No, look, we're doing 7 Degrees of Bacon.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of Navajos, he was in Wind Talkers, the movie where they used the Navajo language to do the war movie. They were doing the
Yeah, but didn't that have Nicolas Cage in it?
Yeah. Nicolas
yeah,
Cage is in it.
it's Nick Cage,
Yeah.
Christian Slater,
I know Christian Slater was in
and
that.
that dude that did well, he was the Indian in the cupboard, wasn't he? The guy that was the main
Daniel Day
Navajo.
Lewis.
No,
No, that was
No.
what was that movie he was in? He was an Indian in some movie, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, wasn't he? Wasn't he also Tarzan Greystoke?
Oh, you're talking about Christian Lambert. His last name's Lambert.
Christopher?
Yeah, Christopher Lambert. He was in Highlanders.
Yeah,
You said Tarzan Greystoke.
yeah, Greystoke.
Yeah,
Was that
that
him?
was
There's
Oh,
been
that's Christopher Lambert.
There's been 2 or
So,
3 Tarzans.
oh.
yeah.
So Adam Beach was Ben in Wind Talkers. Christian Slater was Ox Henderson. And Nicolas Cage was Joe Enders. And Adam Beach, I think I could have swore he was in Indian in the Cupboard. I could be wrong.
You say Indian in the Cupboard. I'm thinking Last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Mohicans. That was Daniel Day Lewis. Yeah, that was Daniel Day Lewis. Last of the Mohicans.
Oh my
I
god.
remember when he went jumping off of that damn waterfall, dude. That was one of the coolest scenes in a movie ever.
Yeah. All right, so let's get a quick synopsis of this movie for those who don't know it.
Yeah.
Keep it real quick here. Basically, storyline goes: Brian's adopted brother is killed when he discovers that the shop he works in sends weapons to Vietnam instead of medications. To the police, it looks like suicide, but Brian knows better, so he skates off to investigate the murder himself. Skates off.
Skates off.
Skates off.
Look, this is not just a pure skateboarding movie, but there is a lot of skateboarding action in it, though.
And a lot of professional skateboarders in the
Tony
movie.
Hawk was actually in it.
Yeah, Tony Hawk was in it. He drove the pizza truck.
Yeah, he was buddy.
And you got a few others in there as
The
well.
fact that he was in it, and they slapped the Tony Hawk sticker.
The logo was on his skateboard. Do you notice that too?
Yeah,
that was cool.
When they went up scouting for pools to skate in, they were slapping Tony Hawk stickers on the inside of the airplane too.
Yeah.
Now, I was wondering about this earlier. Okay, a lot of people used to tell me Christian Slater was a skateboarder before this movie came out. Apparently, that is not true. Former pro skater Tommy Guerrero made $500 per day teaching Christian Slater how to skateboard.
That's pretty good. I would say in 1989, buddy.
I mean, yeah,
good little chunk of change. We was still. I mean, if you was bringing in $350 to $500 a week at a job, you was making good money back then.
Yeah, and then pro skaters Mike McGill and Rodney Mullen were stunt doubles for Slater.
Heck yeah.
But I did see like an interview that they did, because I looked it up after watching Gleaming the Cube, that Christian Slater and Tony Hawk were actually sitting down like years after they had done Gleaming the Cube. Like it might have been like 10 years after the movie.
Yeah.
and literally Christian Slater and Tony Hawk are sitting there, and they're talking, and then Tony Hawk actually says that every day Christian Slater came in on like production and literally did ride the skateboard. I mean, he never did any of the stunt like the stunt works and stuff, but there was some scenes that Tony Hawk actually showed him how to ride the skateboard for real.
That's
So
pretty cool.
I was like, that was pretty cool. So
Yeah. So I have a question for both of y'all. And then I guess we'll get Marty to go first on it this time. There's a scene in the movie at the end of it, and I want to get your opinion on the realistic about how realistic it would be this stunt really could go well or not and work. So he's chasing the guy Londell at the end of the movie, trying to catch up to him. He's taking the girl with him, right?
mhm.
He jumps out of the car with Lachero because he gets stuck in the traffic jam, takes off on the skateboard. The guy who is Londell has stole the cop car. He clips this. Uh,
Yeah,
what
Eclipse the Corvette.
was it? A
Yeah,
Corvette? Oh,
it
so he
was a
clips the
Corvette.
Corvette. So he takes off after him. He's holding on to the Corvette. Okay, they got to be going 60, 70 miles an hour.
Dude, that Corvette was hauling ass. That was
I'm
more
just
like
saying.
90. That was more like 90 to 100 miles an hour.
See, I'm just saying. But here's the thing: how likely is someone to hold on to a car at that speed and really go without just wrecking, wiping out completely? And on top of it, how likely are they to go underneath a truck? I thought that was a fake stunt kind of thing, but I'm reading here that the stunt on the freeway when Brian goes under the truck was performed by Mark Rogowski. Mark
That's bull. That's
Gator Rogowski.
bull. That's bull.
I
That
don't
whole
think.
thing. That
Listen,
whole thing looked like it was on a projector right behind him. It's
but all
like
right, Travis, correct me if I'm wrong. If you were to attempt that stunt and you let go going that fast and you duck down to go under the truck, would you not just get sucked under the truck and ran over or something? Pretty much.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
think, but I would think when you're going that fast, when you let go, you don't have the stability anymore. So now you're having to adjust everything to the
Yeah.
board doing this number. Because now okay, we was wild growing up. So now on my Santa Monica Tony Hawk edition skateboard, I have held on to a truck and up to about 40 mile an hour, and it's scary as shit. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, I
Mhm.
wasn't no skateboard rider or anything, but I'm
Hmm.
gonna tell you now, there wasn't no way I was about to let go of that truck. You know what I mean? Like, and if that thing, we all anybody who's had a skateboard knows well. If that's dude, if you hit a rock as big as a dime, those wheels are stopping and you're just
Yeah,
projecting forward. You like you
you're
you
flying
know.
off.
Exactly.
You're flying off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I had
I'm
a
not saying the stuntman couldn't have done it or didn't do it, but I'm saying like some how likely that is in reality, it's not. Yeah,
no.
Mhm.
yeah.
I had a skateboard when I was a teenager. And I think we all did. We all tried it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And you're
nearly
right.
killed myself.
Yeah,
15, 20
you.
mile an hour, 15, 20 mile an hour, you can handle that. You know what I mean? But when you
But
get
you
up
hit a small crack in the
there,
sidewalk, you're liable to just fall off of it.
well, that's one of the
Mhm.
things when okay, so that was one of the things that I liked about this movie when he first held on to the bus and he was riding behind the bus, he kept popping the front wheel and he
Hmm.
was popping the front wheel to
Yeah, yeah,
realign.
and yeah, I noticed that too
Yeah,
because he was making it jump a little bit. That way it would
yeah,
stabilize. Yeah,
right, exactly. And that'll help you too. So when you pop in that front wheel too, you're keeping anything from coming up under it. And then when you come back down, the back wheel will kind of hop over it too. He wasn't
yeah,
doing like a full on ollie, but that's what I'm saying. And it was readjusting too, because you got to lean the board to get the wheels to turn. So when he's popping the front wheel, he's just getting it back in line a little bit, little micro adjustments. I thought that
yeah.
that part was realistic to
That
me because
yeah, you're absolutely right. That was very realistic.
yeah, and
Now,
if you
now
run
the now
mile
the
an hour,
Corvette part.
no,
Yeah,
yeah, that one's
I,
definitely
I say I say that stunt man. I got to give him props being towed down the interstate. hauling 90, 100 miles an hour on a skateboard
for
or
sure.
whatever he was on. I mean, it
Yeah.
could have been a skateboard. It could have been a long flatboard with
Hmm.
with decent sized wheels underneath it. I mean, but
That's how
but
it seemed like
it looked like a skateboard to me.
Marty
So
McFly was doing it too. Remember?
I hate manure.
And it's harder for you to do on a skateboard than it is on rollerblades too. I've done it on rollerblades a few times too, and rollerblades are a little harder because you got to pick your feet up and daggum, you'll fall. I fell 3 or 4 times at only about 10, 15 mile an hour on rollerblades. The skateboard, I got up to about 40, 45 mile an hour, holding on to the tailgate of a truck.
Hmm.
Yeah,
wow.
it was scary though. It was like
So,
we got that fast. I was like, okay, man, it's enough.
so next question. Next question, and Travis, you go first on this one. This is what we're working for right here. What we're working at. What was your first impression of Gleaming the Cube, and how did it compare to your expectation before you started watching it?
To my expectation, it fell far short. I think the bet. I think had I went into it with different expectations, I might have liked it a little better. I'm not saying I disliked the movie. I'm just saying it's like not. It was that may be why I disliked it, or why I say it wasn't that great of a movie because I was of my expectations of it being something more along the lines of thrashing or BMX Bandits or something like that, being more of a skateboard centric movie versus being a story. And the story wasn't bad. I mean, it was a good story. Um, so yeah, it fell short. But I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. I'm just saying I didn't particularly enjoy it. It was something that I think even as a kid it would have been too much story for me for what I was expecting. Had I went into it knowing that his adopted brother got killed and he was trying to get justice for him and all, I may have went into it with a little different. Uh, maybe I would have had a little more forgiveness for it, or I may have been a little more interested.
I remember watching this at the theater when it came out. I saw the previews for it at home, and I thought I got to watch this movie. And I saw it at the theater. I really liked it. Before we go to Marty here, we should correct ourselves from last week. We were talking about the movie Rad, and we compared Rad to BMX Bandits at one point, and
Yeah.
we said wasn't Lori Laughlin in BMX Bandits as well? Well, Lori Laughlin is not in BMX Bandits. That's Nicole Kidman in
Ah.
BMX Bandits.
Oh yeah, she
Uh,
was one of the riders.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just
it
saw
was an
this yesterday.
Australian movie.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, maybe I saw.
just a quick correction from last week's mistake.
I think we should go back and review the tape. Did we say that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I said that I thought I asked the question, wasn't Lori Laughlin in BMX Bandits also?
Oh,
And you were like, I'm not sure, I don't know or anything. Then I was like, well, we can check later. And I did check, just the other day, and I thought, well, okay, it was her, not Lori Laughlin.
yeah.
But same for you, Marty. First impressions of the movie and how did it compare to what your expectations was?
Well, like you said, I was off on the date. It came out in '89. So in '89, I was in high school. I saw it in the theater, and my first impression of the movie was because I liked it just because of the story. I mean, I liked that it had, I liked that it had the skateboarding in the movie, but I kind of liked the story aspect more because of where Christian Slater's character was trying to get some kind of like reconciliation for his brother being killed and everything. You
Yeah,
know,
looking for closure for sure.
yeah, looking for closure and then just trying to even get some kind of justice for his brother's murder. So and then even like the whole thing where Christian Slater at one point goes from riding a skateboard to not riding a skateboard to riding a bike, kind of cleans his act up a little bit just to like get with well, not to get with his
Brother's
brother's
egg.
girlfriend. Yeah, but he was kind of almost using her to a point, to get to her father.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think
yeah,
that's how it started. He was using her to get to the father to get information about him, and then I think along the way he kind of more fell for her a little bit than he did
yeah,
at first.
yeah,
Mhm.
The title "Gleaming the Cube" is kind of an unusual phrase, wouldn't you say? I think Yabo was telling him in the movie about the cube, right? He was the one he's explaining
mhm.
it to him. So
Yeah. When he was building the new when he was building the new skateboard,
yeah.
he
So
said something about yeah.
what was the definition of that gleaming the cube? Like being
I'm
the
talking about
place
being
that's
in the zone, man.
and then
Wherever.
they get in
Yeah,
the zone.
that's what it
Yeah,
is. It's being in the zone. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Being in your zone, your special place, the where you go and no one's there that can touch you or anything. For what you're doing
Right.
with your skating and everything. I kind of took it as being maybe like at one point when he was mad and he had his Kevin Bacon moment, like from Footloose, but he's out there on a skateboard instead in this old abandoned building where construction's going on, and he's he's riding ramps up off of a wall. He's jumping off of
Mhm. And
piles
doing
of two by
and doing
fours.
ollies and then at one point he kicks the board up and he's like sitting there and he's spinning on it and everything and I was like, yeah,
Oh, he's doing some freestyle stuff,
that
right?
was kind of a Kevin Bacon moment.
Yeah.
So
He's doing the freestyle stuff, and then it ends out just like Kevin Bacon ends up doing the bar thing where he's spinning over and over and over and over, and then he flips off of it and lands. Christian Slater is on one wheel in the back of it. He's spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and spinning until he just stops. I'm like, go
No
with
dig.
yourself.
mhm.
There's your. There's another way you can time the Kevin Bacon right there. That's
Heck
one.
yeah.
That's 1 degree of Kevin Bacon.
We got 20 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh me. What's your favorite part? If you could pick a part from the movie, we'll go to Marty first this time. As your favorite part, what would it be?
Mm, even though it's super far fetched, like the whole part where down the interstate, like holding on to the Corvette, and then and what beats all is that when he like right before he goes under the truck, the the tow. I mean, was it a Nissan truck? But the Nissan Pizza Hut truck
Yeah,
was keeping up with the Corvette.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
What?
he's all like, hey, what up, guys? And they were all like, oh
But
yeah,
okay,
man.
but what's funny
I
about
will
Yeah,
that
admit
is
to it.
he's holding on for dear life with both hands, right? Suddenly
yeah,
he sees his friends. It's okay to let go with one hand and go, yeah, what's
yeah.
up? I'm holding on with one hand. I'm cool.
Uh,
That's what hey, if your piece ain't there in under an hour, it's free, man. They got that motor in that thing, man.
Oh, 30 minutes or less, right? Or was that just
About
Domino's?
30
I
yeah.
don't know.
minutes, baby.
Uh,
Well,
oh,
Travis,
Domino's.
if you had to pick a favorite part, what would you take?
I'm with
And
Marty on
don't
that one.
say the end credits either.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm with Marty. The last whole 8 minutes of the movie was awesome, where everybody piled into the pizza truck and the chase started and all that mess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say that's my favorite part as well, for sure.
it is a nice part, but my favorite part, I think, of the movie is where the three guys on motorcycles are trying to chase him,
Mm,
and they tell him Londell wants to speak to him, and he's going to get away from him, so he lets go of the was it a bus he was holding on to at that point or a
yep,
van?
It was a van.
It was a
yeah,
van, and he
Yeah.
lets go of it and spins out, and then takes off, skating down the road, and all of a sudden he's coming to where it splits, and he's got his gloves on. And he's like he changes the direction of the board and leans back where his hands are kind of not touching the road and dragging the road, but like he's balancing himself in a sense,
hmm
and he's cutting around this curve and going down this downhill now,
yeah.
downhill curve and cutting through
Yeah.
some neighborhoods and
They used to
everything.
do
And
that though. They used to the boys that was be street skating. They used to do that, man. They had a new pair of gloves every week because they cut so hard. They take their hand, put it
now,
on the ground, and like
now I don't know how realistic it is jumping up onto the police car at that point.
Yeah, and
Uh,
knocking knocking the
knocking the
light
lights
clean
off
off the
of it.
car.
They
Right.
didn't show him jumping. It just they give you the impression that he jumped up onto it, of course, and then up to the top of it, hits the lights, knock him off. He wipes out everywhere. Two guys wipe out on the motorcycles, and that's the end of the chase and everything. But
Mhm.
I think that chase scene was probably my favorite scene in the movie. Now, the whole last, like you said, the last 8 minutes was pretty awesome. That is true.
Yeah, that was just nonstop crashing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
jumping and running and skating and
That
craziness.
one big jump at the end is kind of unrealistic, I think, though. I mean, he's supposed to have some
Yeah.
height and some real height. And if you look at it, the guy's pointing up in the air like this to shoot at him, not just like this. It's like up here. So he's got some height going on.
Mm-hmm.
And coming down, and he just knocks the gun out of his hands with the skateboard and then wipes out.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I mean, it's supposed to be a movie, obviously, not, it doesn't have to be realistic or anything. It's all fantasy type. But one of the reasons why I really like this movie, it fits the storyline, it fits the feel of several other movies or types of movies that I liked watching growing up. I'll give you the examples. Iron Eagle, where Jason Gedrick's character goes to rescue his dad with Chappie, right?
Yeah, and that's the
So
one that I said I'll die on this hill. Iron Eagle is better than Top Gun.
it is, it is.
Mhm.
That's the first one anyway. Um, you're good. I see you. No, I still see you. You may have glitched out for a second on your end, but I see you though. Unless I think Travis may have lost audio or something again, like
Mm.
last week. Can you hear me, Travis? No,
I
he
can
can't
now,
hear me.
yeah. That was
Okay, you
weird.
can now.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you glitched out for a second with your sound, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, my whole computer screen just went black and then came back up. And I'm not hooked up to anything either. I don't have a power
Yeah.
cord or nothing. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. You blinked for a second, but you came right back pretty much. I was just saying about
Weird.
talking about Iron Eagle, basically. You were talking how you would die on it, saying it was better than Top Gun. The other movie I'm thinking of is The Rescue. It was a Disney movie. These four
Mhm.
or five kids get together to rescue their Navy SEAL fathers that get captured by North Korea? I think it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah,
that with the
yeah,
with the
yeah.
mice. You never looked at a lot. It's with the mice.
The what?
With the
He's
mice.
talking about the
It's
cartoon.
Oh my
rescuers.
gosh. Oh, is this like a shot at me for my last Mohican remark a while ago?
There you go.
Was Daniel Day Lewis one of the mice?
Uh-huh.
He might have been. And Charlie Sheen.
And Charlie Sheen?
Mm.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Um,
now, wasn't Matt Dillon in The Rescue?
yes, he was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Matt
I wouldn't have,
Damon. I will never age Matt Damon.
Mm.
since the movie's supposed to be skateboarding in a sense, how well do you think the movie captured the skateboarding culture at that time, though? Did it really kind of set it off for you, or do you think it lacked a little bit in really showing what the skateboarding culture was really like?
Uh,
Nah, I think it did all right. To be
yeah.
honest, there wasn't enough of it, but I think it did all right, especially when they're running around scouting pools that have been drained for the because somebody went on
Mm.
vacation or whatever for cleaning.
Yeah,
They really did that, and just the fact that he always had his board with him. You know what I mean? Just that in and of itself was a big deal. Just the fact that if you saw him, pretty much he had his board with him.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're pretty much correct on that. Kind of like Rad, where he rode his bicycle everywhere into the gym at his prom. He
Mm,
was
yeah,
dancing on the bike in his prom.
the
This is the
white
same way he's always had his skateboarder wherever he went until he's trying to impress the girl.
right.
They laid off of it for a minute, but still. Um, well, I guess
Yeah.
we are not going to go real deep in the cast or anything. I just want to touch on the cast for a moment because, like I mentioned earlier, not a lot of people to bring up in there. We know we talked about the guy that played the father and what
Hmm.
else he was in. Lawndale, what else he was in. We're not sure of Lacero's character, the character of Lacero, Stephen Bauer. But we go to Peter Kwong real quick. Peter Kwong played Bobby Nguyen, the guy that they had killed second, and like I said, he was Big Trouble in Little China. He played Rain, but didn't he play in a lot of movies where he was stereotyped usually as like a Yakuza member or something like that?
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I think so. Yeah.
I wasn't he in Black Rain also?
I don't know if I've
Oh,
seen.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, was he in that? Well, I'm about to find out. I'm just
I
wondering.
think. I
I'm
think
just
so.
wondering out loud if he was in it. You know, I mean, he was known for Big Trouble in Little China, The Golden Child, Gleaming the Cube. Three main things. The Lethal Weapon TV series. He was in that. Um, didn't he also play a cop? Oh man, was it the Lethal Weapon movies too, or something? Or am I
Mm,
thinking of something different?
yeah,
Like I
oh,
said,
maybe.
we're about to find out. I'm almost at pointing the page here. 1980s movies. The Renegades TV movie. The Greatest American Hero, Little House on the Prairie. Don't know what he played on that. He's in the A Team. I remember him in the A Team as Tommy Chin. I remember that episode. I just saw it the other day, actually. Funny enough.
Oh,
Um, Tubi, you gotta love, not Tubi, Pluto. You gotta love Pluto. Plays a lot of old TV series. Never Too Young to Die. John Stamos, Vanity, Gene Simmons. He was in that.
okay. Oh, Still
Uh,
Justice with Creasy. Didn't they have Creasy in it?
yeah, Still Justice had the guy who played Martin Cole to play Crease.
Crease.
Yeah.
He was in the Presidio. Um, as he Gleaming the Cube, Angel Town. I've not seen that movie in so long, but he was in Angel Town. I forgot about that.
What's that maybe?
It's got Oliver Gruner in it. He was supposed to be the next Jean Claude Van Damme when he came out. Never really worked out for him. Never made it past the
Mhm.
B movies. Still, Renegade TV series. Yeah, we've seen him in quite a few things.
Yeah.
So he's always been a very, but he was not in Black Rain though. It would have already showed up by now. So that's
Mhm.
my bad on that.
Oh, not to get off topic, but I'm gonna get off topic just for a slight second.
It
Uh,
wouldn't be an episode of our
Travis,
show if we didn't get off topic at least once.
That's right.
Travis,
Yeah.
uh, have you seen Werewolves yet?
I have not. I've been scoping it out. It's in my watch list. Do I need to watch it?
You need to watch it.
I've been scoping it.
That movie is crazy.
Yeah.
It's got a touch. It's got a touch of comedy, action, horror. I mean, you name it, they got it in there. I mean,
Oh,
it's like
I might have to go ahead and throw down on that tonight then, because it's in. It really is. It's in my watch list. I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't pulled the trigger.
yeah, go on ahead and pull the trigger. You need to.
Heck yeah.
It's worth watching. So
There's another one I watched not too long ago where like this dude to went out to like a town or a resort or something, and then he's like the werewolves are killing people around there, but he's like investigating or whatever. He's like the new
oh, he's
park.
the sheriff.
Yeah, he's
He's
like,
the sheriff.
is that what it is? Yeah, he's the new
Yeah.
sheriff. That
Yeah,
one's pretty good.
dude, that movie is funny. Oh my
Yeah,
god. It's called Werewolves Within.
werewolves within. That's it. Yeah.
And it's got the AT&T chick in it.
Yes, yes.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, "Hey, it's the AT&T chick."
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch werewolves then. I love me. That's what I was just. Chris and I were talking about that not long a few episodes ago. How much I love a werewolf movie.
Yeah, he does
Mhm.
like a werewolf movie for sure.
No.
Don't get him
Oh,
talk. Hey, don't get him talking about him too much. He'll talk all night about a werewolf
dude,
movie.
Yeah.
dude, I tell you what. Besides the original Howling, the original Howling will always go down as my favorite werewolf movie, just because of the special effects. I love.
Yep.
I,
That was
I'm
got a
not
hit.
too. I'm not too wild. I'm not too wild about my werewolves being on all four legs,
Mm-hmm.
but when they're standing upright and they're kind of hunched over a little bit, like
Yep.
the Howling, Underworld, those type of werewolves.
For sure.
That yeah.
I
But
think another one that came out of nowhere
the
here a few years ago.
but there's one that came out maybe about I want to say 10 years ago.
Mhm.
That's a movie called Dog Soldiers.
Oh, I love that movie.
Dude, that movie, man,
He just brought it up last week, I think, too.
Yeah,
Or the
hands,
week
got
before.
Kevin McKidd in it, the guy that played
hands,
Lucas Moranis in Rome.
hands, hands down, that has got to be like my number one, like werewolf movie. I mean, but
Yeah,
like I said, I mean that even beats out like Howling and all these other ones.
Dog
But
Soldier is awesome for sure.
yeah,
That one, and
because
if you haven't seen it, check out this one. It's called Ginger Snaps, or you say it Ginger Snaps. That one's a good one
oh,
too.
is that with the chicks? Is that
Yeah,
with the two girls? Yeah.
no, Fangoria. I read about it in Fangoria magazine when right before it came out. They were talking
Uh-huh.
about how they had high hopes for it, and yeah, I checked it out. It's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
uh,
find good werewolf movies, man.
yeah, it is actually. I
Yeah,
mean,
Dog Soldier is off the chain, dude.
they make decent vampire movies, but
Mhm.
you don't get a lot of decent werewolf movies. So
I'm trying to think of a good one right now, and I
What
can't.
a good werewolf movie?
None that I mean, I'm not big on horror movies anyway,
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm probably American Werewolf in London or in Paris.
yeah. Paris was
yeah.
good too.
One,
I love the one.
one of the two would probably be the one for me. I started to say Watchers, but that's not a werewolf though. That's something else.
Watchers is a Dean Koontz novel actually, and
Yeah.
it's just a biological thing that the
Right.
government did.
Oh yeah, it's a
Einstein's dog was
Bigfoot looking monster.
yeah,
That's why I said it's not a werewolf, so I couldn't say
dog.
that one.
Einstein was one of the dogs that was the dogs were supposed to retrieve them and lead them in the battles. If you go and watch the book, so if you saw the movie with Corey Haim in it, it's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
I
But
used
you
to
Yeah,
have it.
yeah.
oh, dude, reading the book is incredible. It goes so much more in depth because, like, he made a thing with Scrabble tiles on it to where Einstein could actually like go over there and paw the Scrabble tiles
Mhm.
and spell out messages to him and stuff. Man, the book's awesome. Dean Koontz is
Mm,
one of my favorite authors.
yeah.
Oh, I saw this video earlier that reminded me. When they're talking about in what's the is it just called Monsters where they say Wolfman's got nards, kick him in the nards.
Little
Oh,
Monster
Wolfman's got
Monster
nards.
Squad.
Monster
Squad.
Squad. There was
Yeah.
a video earlier from a Joe Rogan episode where someone was like, "Have you seen the one where the bear gets kicked in the nuts or the bear gets hit in the nuts?" And they're like, "No, no." So
He's
they're playing
scratching
this
his back.
thing. He's
He's scratching
scratching
his
his back
back,
on
and
something. What
yeah,
is it that comes over him?
it's like it's something on a daggone piece of string or rope or something that he like paws at it and it flips around and smacks him.
And then he kind of like looks like he's trying to walk it off, Marty. Like he's trying to
Yeah,
all of a sudden you see him, and you understand it when you see it.
collapses.
Yeah, he just collapses. It's like he's like in the ring going, oh, and all I could think of was Big Bear
Wolfman's
got
got nards.
nards. Kick the bear in the nards. Don't run from him. Don't play dead. Kick him in the nards.
You know that's how you catch a polar bear, right?
An ice hole.
Yeah, yeah. Put a hole in the ice and put a can of green. What was it? That's all I was heard. Can of green beans. When he bends over to pick up the green beans, you kick him in the ice hole.
Right. That's great. That's great. Well, I guess we pretty much may as well go ahead and just wrap this up. We got nothing else to talk about as far as Gleaming the Cube goes. I'll just I'd go ahead and end it by saying that it's a movie that I would recommend to watch
Yeah,
at
And I
least,
would recommend to watch.
at the very least, at least once. I mean, it's not like the pure skateboarding all day, all night, all the time kind of movie, but it's got a
yeah.
good story to it, and he does skateboard in it, and skateboarding is a part of it. So
If you go into it with the expectations of you watching a story movie, not a bunch of kids on skateboards, then I would recommend it.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, look, if we can recommend The Arena and we can recommend Enemy Territory,
Hey man, Arena was good.
Arena was pretty good. I'm not doubting it. It was. I'm just saying if we can
You're saying
recommend those,
we could recommend Ernest Saves Christmas. How about that?
right, right. And look, and this movie, this Gleaming the Cube, was budgeted $10 million and it only grossed worldwide 2,777,000.
It
Wow.
did not.
It was a huge underachiever, but it has become a cult classic with rentals from skateboarding fans all around the world,
Mm.
and people who are just Christian Slater fans, as far as that goes. Um, as just a fun movie to watch. So
Hey,
I
what
believe
about
you would
Thor?
actually enjoy the
So,
movie.
We need to do
what
something like
about overall? Like, how
Well,
much overall has it made after it hit
two
like Reynolds and
well, it just says gross worldwide. The biggest thing it says 2,777,280. It
wow?
doesn't tell me how much it's made over the years for sales or rentals or anything like that. I'm not sure any of these numbers we ever see tells us that number or not.
Mm.
So I do know for a fact that what the budget, because we asked Catherine Mary Stewart when she was on to confirm it for us, if you remember, Travis,
Mhm.
the budget is everything, including salaries of the stars, the actors in the budget. And she said
Yeah.
yes,
If they buy you lunch that day, they're everything.
it's in the budget.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything's in the budget for what they did to make the movie. So I don't understand what they did that cost them $10 million.
Mm.
Um, it wasn't packed full of stars,
Probably
really.
flying them airplanes and crashing them cars.
Yes. Location filming in California, maybe.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't know, but anyway, okay. Well, that's it for that this week. Then, if you are not currently following the show, make sure that you go to the social medias. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and we are on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, it's the bar at the top. You type in www.retrolife4u. I'm sorry, www.youtube.com/at retrolife for you. It pulls up our page on YouTube, and we
Mm.
have our own website. That's what I was getting at, I guess. Travis, I was getting
Yeah.
ahead of the game a
Gotta
little bit.
mix it up. Gotta
I
mix
know,
it
man. At www.retrolife, the number four, the letter u.com. And that takes
up.
you straight to the website. You can watch all of our stuff on video. You can listen
Listen
to us
to it.
straight on the browser,
Yup.
however you want to. Marty, how do you listen to us? Do you listen to us on a web browser, or you listen to us on like
Spotify,
Spotify?
Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spotify. Get old
I
Spotify.
am I am guilty sometimes of picking us up on Spotify as well, just to hear what it sounded like if the show did pretty decent or something.
That's
Then
where I be listening to it. I listen to us, and I listen to those two two females that I like a lot. That do the it's called Morbid.
yeah.
They're funny. They're funny.
Well, Travis, you mentioned earlier that you might have something to add on the way out the door today.
Yeah, since
So,
my beard's coming in all gray, I'm gonna go mean old dad on y'all.
oh
So
no, not mean dad.
I'm gonna be the butthole dad on this
Uh
one.
oh,
But yeah, I know. You know what the hardest trick in skateboarding is?
what's that?
Getting a job.